Tony, what's your messaging going to be to the players this week? It's a vital game, as we all know.
Yeah, vital. I think the players know that when they come in, and we know the magnitude of the games and how important they are. But we also know that we're in a position that we can retain our second spot. We know that what the expectation and pressures are of playing for the Socceroos and representing our country, but from what I've seen, the players are embracing that. They're enjoying that challenge and expectation, and they look really relaxed and confident and prepared for this game.
Spence, a follow-up for you before we go on? No? Adrian?
Popper, every player that's come into camp this week has spoken about just how easy it has been and how seamless the transition has been now being this your third camp. Have you felt that amongst the players, that everyone understands their roles, knows what the identity is? Have you felt that?
I think it's natural that, when you first come in, it's, it all happened in a couple of days before the game against China, and then November was soon after. It was only 3 weeks, and you're consolidating a little bit of the work that you tried to instill. Now we feel there's a better understanding of the foundation, the template, so to speak, of what we want to put into place, and the players that come in, and the coaches have done a great job in helping the players understand their roles, also giving them a lot of feedback. It's been a good break of 4 months, so we've tried to stay in contact that way, and I think the players have enjoyed that and come in. They look confident, certainly understanding everything. It's always nice when you get some fresh faces as well. You see the buzz, but I'm equally excited about, I know Aziz is sitting here, but players that have a lot of experience coming in buzzing with a lot of games under their belt, a lot of caps, that they're still excited, to be in this environment and be a part of something special when you represent Australia in a World Cup qualifier.
Vince?
Tony,
Yes.
have you seen what you wanted to from Daniel Arzani on the training pitch this week, and is he likely to play any role tomorrow night?
I think he's been very good. Very good. He's doing a great job so far at training. I think all the players have, so I'm not singling him out. Obviously in October he wasn't good, and you asked the question back then and I answered it. You ask it now and I tell you he's doing very well. Does that mean that he'll be in the squad for the game? No, that doesn't mean he'll be in the squad, because there are 26 players that are really fighting for positions to play, to be an impact player ready to come on, and that's what you want. But very happy with his contribution so far.
Just around the central defensive role, just curious to know sort of what your thinking is around that, what you're looking for in terms of attributes to replace Harry, and one of the other things you mentioned the other day was you'd look at Nectar Triantis at training to see if he could help defensively. Is that a possibility as well?
Yeah, we looked at him actually yesterday. We put him in midfield and also at the back just to have a look. It's only one session, but we've been moving the players around a little. They're all comfortable with playing in different positions. We can see that we have enough experience and enough quality to play this match, regardless of personnel.
Hi, Tony. We're from Indonesia, so how do you plan to approach this match differently than previous match in Jakarta? The fact that now Indonesia has appointed Patrick Kluivert and even adding 3 more naturalized players.
Yes, that's true. Look, I wasn't there for the Jakarta match, but as we should, we've analysed Indonesia. We know there is a new coach. We don't know how he will set up. Of course, we've seen what he's done previously at various jobs that he's been involved in terms of the structure and the shape that he plays. But we have to focus on us and know that we can deal with any structure that comes out their way. We're confident to deal with that. We're confident to play the football we want to, and I'm sure we'll see that tomorrow.
And are there any players that you think will pose a threat to Australian defence? Thank you.
Yeah, of course. They're international players. They're doing very well, and a lot of improvements they've made. okay, I could single out a few players, but I think it's better for us in our approach this week has been to focus on what we need to do, and of course respect our opponent. That's important. They deserve that. But we've really been focused on improving our game from the last two camps, last two windows, and I'm confident we'll see that tomorrow. Thank you.
Tony, thanks for taking the time.
Yes.
Now that the last of the boys arrived last night, just health and fitness-wise, do you have any concerns coming into this game? Is anyone going to be unavailable or under a cloud?
No, at the moment, clean bill of health, which is always pleasing. Yes, we had a couple of boys last night come in. They look as though they've recovered well from the flight in their weekend games. We'll see them now in training, a few boys for the first time. But they look positive, good spirits, so they're all available for selection.
And we're guaranteed to have a new starting front three in this game because of who's in the squad. Could you maybe give us an insight into your thinking around what sort of profiles do you want in there and what you want them to particularly focus on against Indonesia?
Profiles in particular, I think we have a variety of profiles. So it's more of what type we want to play, what type of player we want to play to begin the game, and a player that could maybe come on in the match. But we have a mixture of players that are very dynamic, running behind, creative between lines, a lot of power, holding the ball up. So we have a real mix. We know what we will do, and we'll show you that tomorrow.
George and then David.
Tony, thanks again for your time. Asked you last week at the squad announcement about Cassini Yengi. He's obviously not had that much club time. Now you've had a look at him in camp this week. What's his state of play like for him?
Well, he played 65 minutes on the weekend. He started, which is always important. He's looked good. Obviously, you can't replicate the game time, but we know what Cassini can give us.
And just looking, and obviously you weren't in charge the last game against Indonesia, but there was obviously a difficulty in breaking Indonesia down. Can you maybe talk us through what you've identified in the months leading up to this game as areas you can improve on?
Yeah, I think like any game, the teams are very well organised in world football now, regardless of who you play. Teams can structure themselves well. They can get behind the ball. A lot more power in players. They can break quickly. So we have to be patient. If that's the case, if that's how they play, if they press, well, we have to be able to exploit the space that's left there. If they sit deep, we need to exploit the spaces between the lines and trying to penetrate around the box. And I think we just have to be prepared to do whatever the moment allows us. And if it's not on, be patient and wait for the opening.
Aziz, can I ask you a question? I wonder if you could just talk about what the mood is like in this current Socceroos camp under Popovic after playing under Graham Arnold for such a long time.
Yeah, look, from day one, the energy's been high. We've always said within those four walls it's about brotherhood, no matter if it's like the boss said before, whether it's myself with a lot of caps or someone coming in new, you got to treat it, playing for the Socceroos, like it might not be there tomorrow because it's not club football here. National team is never guaranteed. You're never guaranteed to be in the next camp. Doesn't matter how well you do in the camp before. So, look, the energy's been great. The boys are buzzing. It's been a long break in between games. So, for me, there's nothing better playing for your national team. That buzz that it gives you, you'll never find that at club level. That's for sure. So, look, we're all excited and raring to go.
And Tony, if I could ask you, you just talked then about patience. Jason Guerrier earlier today was talking about the fact that he says they all know what you want, and that's to be in the opposition's faces. So do those two contradict each other, or how much do you actually want to be in the Indonesia's face?
Again, that would be reflective of the moment where we are on the pitch, and I didn't see the interview, so maybe he's referring to how quickly we can regain the ball and get the ball back, and then whether there's an opportunity to hurt them quickly or whether we have to be patient once we've regained. Again, I'm assuming that's what he referred to. So you have to balance the two. I was talking about patience with the ball. That does not suggest that we can't play quick, we can't play forward, But we have to be clear enough to not force things and create the openings, however they come.
Tony, at the very beginning of your managerial career, you already faced Patrick Kluivert. Do you remember that?
Yes. Many, many memories you have of him as a player, wonderful footballer, and now we see him as manager of Indonesia, and I've seen what he's done and the roles he's had as assistant coach and the opportunities he's had as a head coach. So he will have his ideas. I wish him well, but just not tomorrow.
Of course. So that was back in 2010 when you were starting as an assistant manager at Sydney. Patrick Kluivert briefly was the assistant manager at Brisbane, and it was a 1-0 victory then for Brisbane.
Mm-hmm.
And the only goal was scored by Sergio van Dijk, who is of course a Dutch player with Indonesian heritage. Yeah. So nowadays a lot of Dutch players play for Indonesia, increasing amount. What do you think about this process that Indonesia is going through?
Yeah, it's it's something obviously that they're allowed to do, and and they're trying to increase their quality. Obviously, it's they're naturalising these players. They certainly can, and good luck to them. It's happened with the Socceroos as well. So they're going through this process. They're obviously looking at any way that they can get better. They want to get to the World Cup like we do. So obviously I can see the vision, and that's happening all around the world. Everyone is improving, everyone's getting better, but we certainly feel that we're doing that as well.
Tony?
Aziz, you started that last game against Indonesia. What are your memories of that team from that game? But also, has it made it harder to prepare, given there has been a bit more overhaul in their squad this time around?
Yeah, look, obviously it wasn't an easy place to go, and I think no game at international level is easy, just as it is. So yeah, look, it was a tough battle over there. But in preparing for this game, not really, because we just got to focus on ourselves, and we know what we're capable of doing as a team and as a group. So, of course, we analyse the opponent, but it's more so how we approach the game mentally, and obviously get our tactics right as a group. And we're positive that if we can put that on tomorrow night, that we'll get the job done.
Tony, the pitch at the stadium has been poor in the last few days leading up to the match. Will this affect tomorrow's game?
I haven't seen the pitch yet, so we will train soon. It's not a look. We all want a beautiful pitch, but the conditions are. We accept them. There's nothing we can do about it, but I'm sure it won't affect our play tomorrow.
Okay. For Aziz, Indonesia have a new striker, Ole Romani, and you play as defender for Australia. What is your opinion about Indonesian squad that constantly having a new player in almost every match?
Yeah, look, we just got to deal with it. Obviously, like the boss said, they want to strengthen their squad. But it is what it is. We approach every game the same. Doesn't matter if it's Indonesia, Japan. We have the right mentality going into every game, so it's going to be no different tomorrow night.
Tony, I guess there's expectation from Australian supporters and certainly on betting markets that this is a foregone conclusion and Socceroos are just going to walk this in. Is there any danger in your mind that you can underestimate Indonesia in this match, and if not, why?
Well, I think it's quite clear why. We drew with them away. The group is very tight, so there is no reason to underestimate Indonesia. Their last result proves that against Saudi Arabia. So that's not happening for us. That hasn't crossed our minds. But the expectation of the Australian public, that's what it should be. That's what it should be. They should expect their national team to produce, to play good football, and I expect every Australian to get behind the team tomorrow, which is what we want, and we know that that'll help us tomorrow night.
Dave, last one.
Tony, you've mentioned experience a couple of times in your answers, and with the short turnaround, short preparation and the stakes at play, you brought a lot of experience into this squad as well. How important has that been in your preparation, and what contribution have those guys added to the mix here?
Yeah, I think a lot of the experienced players are the existing ones. Maybe there's a couple new boys that have come in that haven't been with us for a while in terms of experience, but ultimately it's the quality they bring. There are some debutants as well that are here that are enjoying it, but I think that the mix is good. We're happy with all the players, and in terms of experience, I think it's the experience helps that have been playing in big games, but they're here because they're quality players, and we trust all of them that are here to play.